Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have a battle against Rome. So yeah, looking at their team, looks to be a very powerful, very meta-looking team there for sure. Looking at my team, it is the same one that I used in the last match here. So what do I want to lead with in this one? Um, I think we're actually going to go with... this is difficult because they do have a lot of solid lead options here, but I think we're going to go with the Sylveon, actually, in this one. And we'll see how that works out. Yeah. Alright. So, it looks like he is going to lead with the Grimmsnarl as we led with the Sylveon. So, this is a pretty good matchup for us, actually. Obviously, this thing could taunt us, so I think the best thing we can do here is just go straight for a Moonblast. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We'll see what this thing wants to do. It could set up any kind of status moves as he's actually going to go ahead and switch. So that's kind of fine, too. I'm going to switch directly into the... Skeledirge as we go for the Moonblast. Not going to do much of damage to it, and it is going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So, I think we actually, in this situation, we're not a bad situation against this thing. We could definitely set a Calm Mind up. I kind of want to do that. We could also Yawn this thing. I kind of want to do that too. So, I think we actually are going to Yawn this thing, see what it wants to do. As we outspeed, there's the Yawn. Is going to put that thing to sleep next turn if he does not switch, as he's going to go for a Yawn as well. So that's an interesting turn of events. So we're both in a situation where if we don't switch out next turn, we're going to sleep. So he gets some HP back with the leftovers. Obviously, we don't want to go to sleep if we don't have to. So I think what we're going to do is this is basically just going to be a crapshoot as to what we decide to come in with here, but based on what he's got going on his team, I think we're just going to switch into the Empoleon, actually. That seems like the best course of action, so we go for the switch here, and we're going to be switching in with our Empoleon, so there it is, as he actually stays in and goes for a substitute, so that's really interesting. So the substitute goes up as he is going to regain some HP with the leftovers, and the substitute actually does not prevent him from falling asleep, so he's going to go ahead and fall asleep behind the substitute, so that's really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this happen before, so that is a very interesting turn of events. I think in this situation, we just go for the Stealth Rock, get the entry hazard up, so that's what we're going to do. We do outspeed. Stealth Rock going to go up on his side of the field, which is obviously great for us. As this turn, I believe there's one turn of guaranteed sleep, so nothing he can really do this turn. So he's going to go ahead and get some HP back with the leftovers, which is kind of fine. And so this turn, we definitely just go for the Surf here to break that sub. No reason not to, so that's what we're going to do. Definitely want to get that out of the way. So that's obviously going to be more than enough to break the substitute, which indeed it does. And so we'll see if he's going to wake up this turn. He does not wake up this turn, which is incredible for us, obviously. And then he is going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So he's got an interesting choice to make here because obviously he's asleep. He could wake up next turn, but he doesn't want to take a water move from us. He does have some switches to that. So what do we want to do? I think we probably just play it safe and just go for the Surf again, so that's what we're going to do as he does go for the switch. Going to keep the Skeledirge asleep here and going to switch directly into the Milotic. So that thing comes in, takes some Stealth Rock damage as we go for a Surf here. And that's not going to do too much damage to this thing, a little chip, as it does get burned with the Flame Orb as well. So I think we actually just try to chip this thing down with an Air Slash here, because I'm not sure what this thing can really do to us. So I think we just stay in and go Air Slash here, as it does outspeed us, go for a Scald. Not going to do too much damage to us. Unfortunately, of course it gets the burn, because of course it always does. As we go for the Air Slash in return, going to do some more chip to this thing. We are going to get some HP back with our leftovers, as we are both going to take some burn damage this turn. So, I think, once again, what we'll do here is we'll probably just continue to whittle this thing down, see if it, try to scout its set a little more. We're just going to go for Air Slash again, as this thing goes for an Icy Wind, which is not going to do too much damage. It is going to lower our speed, but that's actually going to trip our competitive to raise our special attack sharply, which is great. As we go for the Air Slash, it's not quite enough to get the KO on the Milotic. As we get some HP back from the leftovers. Is it within range that the burn takes it out, though? Not quite. Just barely not quite, as now we take some burn damage as well. So that is unfortunate. Now the question is, does this thing with like 1 HP have recover? If it does, I think either way we switch out here. I think that's the play. So we're going to switch directly into... We're actually going to switch out into the Ogre Pawn here. As either way, if it has recover, there's not a lot we can do. So going to come in with the Ogre Pawn, as we're going to get the Mold Breaker coming into play, as the Milotic does in fact have recover, unfortunately, and does go for said recover. So that is going to... put it back up to about 50% health, and then it is going to take some damage from the burn. So, the question now is, how do we want to play this? So, we could try to set up on this thing. We know this thing has Scald, Icy Wind, and Recover. We're not sure what the last move is. Could be another attacking move. I think we could relatively safely actually go for a Swords Dance here. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to do, as we do outspeed, obviously. Going to go for the Swords Dance to get that sharp attack increase on the Ogre Pawn, as this thing is going to recover again. So going to go ahead and put itself back up to nearly full HP here, and then take some damage from the burn. So that kind of sort of worked out for us, actually, because now we're free to go ahead and go for a Trailblaze. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Going to hit this thing at +2 with a Trailblaze, and it is going to go ahead and just one-shot that Milotic outright. I believe the Mold Breaker actually does ignore the Marvel Scale, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But either way, we take it out, knock him down to 5, and get that speed increase on the Ogre Pawn, which is incredible. So Ogre Pawn is pretty well positioned here at this point to do some big damage to their team, as now I'm going to go ahead and come in with the Grimmsnarl. So I think in this situation we could very easily Terra, although I don't know if I want to or not. I don't know if it's worth it or not. We could Terra. Do we want to go all in on this thing? Oh, do we want to go all in on the Ogre Pawn? You know what? I think we will go all in on the Ogre Pawn here, since I really like Ogre Pawn, and we're going to go ahead and go for that IV Cudgel. So we're going to Terrastalize our Ogre Pawn into pure fire type. Obviously, this is the Hearth Flame Mask version, and going to go ahead and get that special Terra form there, looking pretty incredible. We're going to get the Embody Aspect to raise our physical attack, which is even farther. This thing going to go for a Reflect to go ahead and increase the physical defense of all their Pokemon trying to survive a hit. We are going to go for the Ivy Cudgel. It is Swords Dance boosted, as well as being Embody Aspect boosted, and Double Stab Terra boosted. There's no way that thing's surviving that, so it one-shots the Grimmsnarl, knocking him down to, I believe, 3 at this point. So that is incredible. So now the Glamora is going to come in here. It's going to take some Stealth Rock damage, And so, yeah, they do have, actually they have 4 left, my mistake. So they do have 4 left now. So we are off to races with this thing. No reason to switch out. We're just going to go ahead, and I don't really want to reveal the Stomping Tantrum just yet. I don't think there's a need to. Although maybe, you know what, actually, what am I talking about? Of course there's a need to. We're going to go for the Stomping Tantrum. We have the coverage. This thing's actually going to Spiky Shield to scout us, interestingly enough. And so it's going to reveal the Stomping Tantrum, which is incredible. So not going to do anything there. And we are actually going to get hurt by the Spiky Shield. But there's no reason for us to not just go for another one. So that's exactly what we're going to do this time around. So Ogerpon is definitely in prime position right now. We'll see what he wants to do, what he might have up his sleeve to try and stop it. So yeah, we will see. So what is it gonna be? That is the question. As he's going to go ahead and bust out his Terra. So this could go sideways for us depending on what this Terra is. So he's going to Terrastalize the Glamora into a flying type. So that's awful, actually. That is really bad. So going to Terrastalize to a flying type. Obviously, we went for the Stomping Tantrum. That's not going to do anything, as the Glamora going to go for a Stealth Rock to get the entry hazard up on us. So that was a pretty interesting turn of events there, actually. I'm assuming this Glamora is pretty exclusively a support set, if that's what he did, to just go for the Stealth Rock. But I guess now we just go for the Ivy Cudgel. I guess there's no... I mean, he could protect again, but maybe he doesn't have an attacking move. I don't know, but I assume... Let me think about this. I assume that if he had an attacking move, he would go for it. He would have gone for it last turn while he could catch me off guard with the Terra. So he may just be trying to stall me out. I don't know. But you know what? We'll make the obvious play anyway. And we'll just go for the Ivy Cudgel here as gonna Spiky Shield. So I guess I should have seen that coming. So this seems like almost an exclusively support set on the Glamora. So we go for the Ivy Cudgel. Not going to do anything thanks to the Spiky Shield. Anything that is, of course, except... I guess nothing. I guess we don't take Spiky Shield damage from the Ivy Cudgel, so that's good to know. So anyway, we're just going to Ivy Cudgel again, because I guess there's really no reason not to here. As we go for the Ivy Cudgel, it is Swords Dance, Double Stab, Terror boosted, Embodied Aspect boosted. It is going to not quite be enough to take the Glamora out, actually, which is quite surprising. It survives with like 1 HP in the red, goes for a Mortal Spin, and that is going to poison us, so that's not great, as it is also going to remove the Stealth Rock from our side, as we are going to take some poison damage here. So I think this time we're going to wise up, because this thing definitely goes for a Spiky Shield this turn, I think, to stall out another turn of poison damage and Spiky Shield damage. So this turn we go for another Swords Dance, as he does go for a Spiky Shield as anticipated. So we smartened up this time, as we are going to get to go for a Swords Dance, boosting our attack even further. Some might even say to sky-high levels, as we do take some more poison damage here. So there's no reason for us not to just go for another Trailblaze here this time. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to see what he might have up his sleeve now to combat us, as we are technically on a timer thanks to the poison. But yeah, we're going to see how this plays out. We're definitely playing a dangerous game here, and we'll see who comes out on top. So he is definitely thinking about this one for sure. What is it gonna be? And so he's actually going to switch the Glamora out, interestingly enough, and he's going to switch directly into the Skeledirge, so that's interesting. He comes in with that. We go for the Trailblaze. Not going to do too much damage to it, but it does give us another speed increase. So at this point, he might just be trying to mind game us. So we are going to get some HP back. He's going to get some HP back with the leftovers as we take more poison damage. So he's probably just stalling out the poison turns, trying to mind game us at this point. We probably just, he knows we have the Stomping Tantrum, but I guess we just kind of have to go for it at this point, so that's what we're going to do. I guess he could play more switch mind games with us, but I think that's pretty much all we can do is just go for the Stomping Tantrum again and see what he wants to do. And he is going to continue to mind game us, so that's unfortunate. Probably going to be switching in with the, going to come in with the Glamora. So we are definitely getting mind gamed right now, unfortunately, as going to go for the Stomping Tantrum. Not going to do anything to this thing. So as we stall out, he stalls out even more poison damage on us. So the Reflect is finally going to be over. I almost forgot that was still a thing, so that's nice. We just go for the Ivy Cudgel from now on, I think. We're done trying to make risky predictions, as this thing is obviously going to spike the shield, but we know from before that we shouldn't take any spiky shield damage from the Ivy Cudgel getting blocked by it. So indeed we don't, but we do take another round of poison damage, knocking us down 28. So we can only take one more round of poison damage, unfortunately, so we have been pretty successfully stalled out here. I think we just go for the Ivy Cudgel again, as he does stay in this time. No more mind games. We go for the Ivy Cudgel. Obviously going to be more than enough to take this thing out from that range, triggering another layer of toxic spikes on our side of the field, unfortunately. But that's okay. We do finally get rid of that Glamora, which was quite the nuisance, knocking him down to 3 Pokemon this time. As we take the poison damage, we have one more attack in us with the Ogerpon here, it seems, sitting at +4 from Swords Dances, and also Embody Aspect boosted and double speed boosted from Trailblaze. So something hopefully is going to go down. Whatever he switches in, hopefully, is going to go down to the Ogerpon. Hopefully we can take it with us, as I said, we only have one turn left of poison damage before the Ogerpon goes down. So we'll see what he wants to do here. He is going to come in with the Como O, so that thing's coming in. Our best move in this situation, he's got the Como O, the Skeledirge, which is asleep, and the Ursaluna Blood Moon. So we just go for the Stomping Tantrum here. I guess there's no reason not to, so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to see where that gets us. He's actually going to double switch the Como O out, probably into the Skeledirge, if I had to guess. Yep, I think that's the Skeledirge. So trying to mind game us farther, as we do go for the Stomping Tantrum this time around, though. And it is enough to go ahead and take that Skeledirge out, knocking him down to 2, which is incredible for us. Unfortunately, our Rampage is going to get cut short here, as this turn the Ogerpon will go down to the poison damage. And that is going to knock us down to, I believe, 5 Pokemon. But Ogerpon absolutely wreaked havoc on their team there and put us in a pretty prime position. So can't really ask for anything more than that. So now the question is, what do we want to bring in to deal with what they have left? So they have the Como O, and they have the and there's only 3 minutes left in the battle. So we're going to go ahead and come in with Mew. So, yeah, we're just going to do that. As Mew is going to come in, they are going to come in with the Como O. So, we are going to take the Stealth Rock damage, get poisoned off the Toxic Spikes as well, which is unfortunate. But there's not much we can do about that. So they do have the Ursaluna, that's the last one. So we're just going to go for a Psychic Fang here straight away, no reason not to, as Como O going to substitute. So with minutes left in the game, going to, I suppose, play the stall game for some reason. That doesn't seem like the greatest of things to do, but we're going to Psychic Fang, so that's easily going to break the substitute, so we're not going to play that game. We do take Life Orb damage, unfortunately, and then we also will take Poison damage, as this thing is going to regain some HP with the leftovers. So, unfortunately, if they continue to play this stall game, we're definitely not going to finish the battle, but we're just going to keep going for Psychic Fang, as unfortunately, that looks to be the way that this is going to go. So, they sub again with the Como O. We go for the Psychic Fangs again to break the substitute easily. And then we're going to take another round of Life Orb and poison damage, and they are going to regain some HP with the leftovers once again. So it looks like, unless they decide to change course, this is going to be where the match quite possibly ends, but we'll see what happens. We're just going to keep going Psychic Fangs here, no reason not to, and we'll see what they want to do. So they are going to continue, so that's fun. So yeah, we're just going to waste the last couple minutes of this game, I guess, because why not? Because that's what tryhards do, I suppose. Even in friendly games where the timer is a factor. But yeah, that's Pokemon for you, ladies and gentlemen. That is the timer for you as well. So we go through another turn of this nonsense. Life Orb, Poison, and Leftovers. And this turn he might actually attack, but we're just going to keep clicking Psychic Fangs. We know he outspeeds. He is going to Thunder Punch this time around. Not quite enough to take the Mew out, so that's a nice little middle finger to my opponent there, so I'm pretty happy about that. Go for the Psychic Fangs, take the Como-O out, knocking them down to just one Pokemon, knocking the Mew out in the process with Recoil and whatnot. And so we have a double down. We go down to 4, they go down to 1. That seems to definitely be where the match is going to end, as we're going to come in with the Titan here. Maybe we can get one more turn, but probably no, we're not going to get another turn because we have to go through all the this bit of taking hazards and all that. So yeah, we take the hazards, get poisoned, all that good stuff, and that's going to be it as the timer runs out. So we're just going to go ahead and click Ice Spinner, and yeah, the timer is up, and that is game. So we are going to win that one 4-1 technically against Rome. That was a good match, though. Highly competitive game there. Unfortunately, the timer stalling was just totally unnecessary, I think, at the end of this game, because there was... But, you know, we were in the driver's seat, obviously, so my opponent just kind of timer stalled for no reason, but it is what it is. Still a very competitive match, a very good match nonetheless. So, but yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So, that's it, and we'll see you next time.